happy with how the test went. Definitely the bike is not majorly different, but in pretty much every department is better. And working with the factory team, it's just it's a dream. We've got to the last kind of the last step, and now we just got to see what we're made of, and got a great manufacturer behind us, and a great group of guys. So I'm just really looking forward to it.
What are your goals for 2011?
To do what I haven't done before, and to win a race. We haven't won a race, and obviously. All right, thanks, Dad. And definitely haven't won a championship. Obviously, that's a life, a dream for me. So we're just gonna definitely, the goal is to be better than what we were this year, and we were always just kind of off the back of the front guys. So to run with the top guys, and be battling for America and represent. We're definitely not the person that everybody's looking right at out of the gate, but we'll try to sneak up there, and there's no excuses. This is the first year for me, and in a few years we're not going to be the young kid, the rookie, or the new guy learning track. So it's I don't have any excuses next year. So we need to step up for sure. The biggest, I guess, the most dangerous guy, right, for next year is definitely got to be Jorge. He's on a great bike, as we know. But he's got a lot of good things about him as a rider. When he's had to step up, he stepped up this year. When he had to back off, he knew when to back off. And a lot of people thought that maybe he was fading or didn't. He was just kind of in a lull period. And as soon as at Phillip Island everything was done, he was back up there rolling again. So I think him. Casey's going to be fast. Valentino's got a lot of work to do with the Ducati, but it's he's one guy that I'm not going to put money against for sure. So everybody, there's about 16 or 17 guys that are fast out there, but I would say Jorge for sure. He's the guy with the bullseye on the back, and everybody's looking to beat.
How is it working with Jorge as a teammate?
Yeah, it's good. I've had worse in the past for sure. But he's a good kid. He's fast. I mean, and he's nice. He's quiet. He goes about his business, and so far so good. I don't know how the future is going to be, but right now it started off as good as it can. We've worked together, looking at some data and stuff like that, and hopefully learn from him. And he's like I said, he's a great rider. So hopefully we can learn something from him.
Question over here.
In regard from going from production to prototype racing, how did you change your training regimen and your diet to make that transition?
So the question is, going from production-based or World Superbike to Moto GP, how did you change your training regimen?
The training regimen's been pretty similar. It's honestly just a lot how the bike, the difference in the bikes are. There's little subtle changes that I do different from not racing 2 races in a day to just racing 1. So a couple of the lead up to the race for me will be a little bit different. Diet wise for me, that nothing really changed. I just don't go to the gym quite as much because I don't need to be as strong on the bike. That's pretty much it. Not a whole lot, honestly.
Question is shifting next year. MotoGP is 800cc this coming year. Then after that, it shifts to 1000cc. The question is, what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely I'm looking forward to it. It's I think everybody is. But as a rider, the way I ride, the way I like the bikes to work. I like bigger CCs, which is a different riding style for sure. But I think it's good for the series. It's good for the fans. This year with Valentino going to Ducati, with Casey, the Honda, me, the Yamaha, it spiced the series up for sure. So there's a lot of changes. Next year there's going to be 1,000, so it's going to be another big change. So, it's keeping it interesting. And for me, just like I said, the way I like to ride, I look forward to it. I think I'll benefit from it more than some riders, but then there's going to be some riders that are going to hit the ground running, and some of the manufacturers, they're going to always, when there's a period like that, one of them's going to start out a little bit ahead, and I hope Yamaha's working on it right now. So it's now I look forward to it in every way, from the fans, from riding, from everything.
All right, so the question is, mentally, what have you been able to do to maybe overcome that concern about tires?
I think that's a lot too with just how the tires work. It's a learning curve for sure. But we can just try to be better in the first laps. Just trust the tires more, because the way they heat up is definitely different. We've seen, I got spat off on the warm-up lap. Casey's done it before, and the first few laps has always caught a bunch of the riders out. Next year there's going to be some pretty big differences with how they're made. So I think it's going to change quite a bit. The people that were good with the beginning, it might kind of even it out a little bit. But it's basically just they've got more grip than you think they do, and I just got to trust them more and be better in the beginning of the race. It's something I know I need to work on as a rider, and I'm not afraid to admit it. We've been good in the middle of the race and in the end, and been as quick most places, but it doesn't hack it, when you're 10 seconds back and on lap 20. So just need to trust more and get more confidence and more experience. I think that's the key to it.
We talked a little bit last night that the team that he's on now, most of Valentino's team went with Valentino. So there's some new guys coming in that are going to be working with Ben in the year ahead. And some of them he's familiar with. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting for me because it's a series that I've done all the tracks. For a year I know where I'm going. The bike is pretty similar to last year. And every guy that I've worked with, besides Rossi's old engineer that I worked at the test with, he's very good. My crew chief, my mechanics, the Owens technician, my team manager, my data guy I worked with in the past in America. So it's all the same for me, which is it's not really normal. But I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of got put in the position where I could build my team the way I wanted it. And it's a dream team for me. I mean, Mayo, me and him had a good relationship from, winning the championship with Yamaha and last year. And now he's the team manager at Yamaha, and all the mechanics, they know me inside out. They, they can look at, my look in the pits without asking me a question and know what I'm thinking, and that goes a long way, and they know what I need. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, nothing could really be better for next year. We just got to, enter the season healthy and 100%, and everything else right now is kind of the best of both worlds for sure.
Question is, what was your favorite moment in the 2010 season?
That one's pretty easy one, and I was telling you last night at dinner that from even finishing second to leading the race at Indy and all that stuff, the moment that I knew kind of how big it was, and I got a super happy feeling was at Indy after I qualified on pole. I keep looking at the board, and I saw that it was, the clock was done, but I knew that somebody could still be on a lap. So I was just watching and almost running off the track, and once I saw that we had pole, I stopped on the back straightaway to do my practice start, and all the fans are lined up on the fence, and they're just losing it, just jumping up and down, screaming, and I got goosebumps then, and that was a big deal for me. Was starting on pole at Indy. It's such a famous place for the Americans, and to do that's when I felt that I did something for the home crowd. So that was the moment for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Moto GP Rookie of the Year, America's own Ben Spies.